I come home to find my husband Tim standing with his arms crossed, just like before. I told you not to leave the house without telling me first, he says. I'm sorry, but it was an emergency. Jordan had an accident and was taken to the hospital. I don't care. You promised not to leave without telling me, he snaps. That's when something inside me breaks. My name is Andrea. I'm 27, a housewife, and I've been married to Tim for a year. We still feel like newlyweds, but lately there have been things bothering me. Tim is very jealous. Even when we were dating, whenever I said I was going out with friends, he would ask, "Who's going? Are there any guys?" I used to think it was cute. Once we married, Tim wanted me to stay home and be a housewife, so I quit my job. Now, I hardly talk to any men. Tim seemed happy about that. But whenever the FedEx or UPS guy comes, I try to get the door. And Tim says, "I'll get it," and doesn't let me answer the door. He's done this ever since we got married, and I'm used to it now. Honestly, I'm okay with it since he does everything for me. Tim and I met at work. I was briefly a model and attended an event for a company Tim worked for. He said it was love at first sight. After we finished, he asked me to dinner. He was kind, and I thought he seemed reliable. His company paid well, so I thought, why not? And agreed to go out. We exchanged numbers and went out a few more times. He worked hard to make me happy, which I thought was sweet. Soon, we were officially a couple. A year later, he proposed and we got married. Tim is crazy about me, but his feelings have led to some problems. I want to show you what happened. One day, I get an invitation to a high school reunion. I moved to New York for university and haven't been home in a while, so it would be nice to see my friends. But I know there's a big problem. Tim won't let me go. I need to figure out a way to make it happen. Luckily, I got the invitation while Tim was still at work. He hasn't seen it yet. After some thinking, I come up with a plan. I'll tell my parents and secretly go to the reunion. I call my mom for help before talking to Tim. I've decided to go to my parents' house this weekend. Why? Mom wants to talk to me about something. Does she want me to drag you? No, don't worry about it. It's your day off. You relax. I'll be fine. If I go, I'd stay at your parents' place too, but I won't do that. No, it's fine. She wants to talk to just me. Really? What's so important? Should I come if it's serious? No, I think it's something private. She hasn't even told my brother Jordan yet. Not even Jordan. If she hasn't told him, it must be something personal. All right. I'll miss you. Make sure to call me when you're there. Got it. Perfect. I'll be able to go to the reunion without Tim knowing. That day, I head back to my hometown and go straight to my parents' house. Just as I expected, Tim must have called Mom, and she told him, "Sorry for calling Andrea over so suddenly." Tim's relieved, and when I call him after arriving, he says, "Enjoy your time with your parents." I thank my mom and head to the reunion in the clothes I sent over. The reunion is a blast. Some people have changed a lot since high school, while others look the same. Of course, life around them has changed. Some have kids, others have gotten divorced. Since I've been with Tim, I haven't seen my old friends, so they all surround me, asking questions. They're surprised to hear how Tim and I met, but the biggest shock is that I used to be a model. I laugh and say, "Yeah, I never told you, did I?" Some of the guys compliment me saying, "You look so beautiful." I can't believe it. We all have a great time. I wanted to go to the after party, but I don't want to be too late calling Tim, so I decide to head home. Once I'm back at my parents' house, I call Tim and say, "I'm staying here tonight and will drive back in the morning." "Okay, take care on the way back. Miss you," he says. I think I'll make it home without him finding out about the reunion. The next day, I drive for 3 hours and return home. I open the door and find Tim standing there, arms crossed and looking furious. "Hi, I'm back. What's wrong?" "You're cheating on me, aren't you?" "What? No, I'm not." "Don't lie. You said your mom needed you, but you went to a class reunion instead." "How does he know?" "I have no idea, but it's clear there's no way out." I finally tell the truth. I went to the reunion. Just as I thought. You met guys behind my back. That's cheating. No, it's not. I just went to the reunion to see my friends. I haven't seen them in a long time. But I thought you wouldn't let me. I didn't want to go somewhere with drinks and guys. I'm glad I didn't tell him earlier. If I had, I might never have seen my friends again. Apologize properly. Sorry, what? You betrayed me. You need to apologize and explain what you did wrong. Wait, you want me to do that? I didn't expect him to go this far, but I did lie to him. I agreed to apologize to Tim, going over everything I know he wants to hear. I forgive you, but there's no next time, okay? Tim's still upset, but I can't help myself. I ask him, how did you find out I went to the reunion? He looks at me, then answers, I did some research with ghosts. Ghosts? I ask, confused. He explains in a way that leaves me shocked. First, he checked my Facebook and found people who seemed to be my schoolmates. Then he searched their names on Instagram and Twitter, looking through all their posts. After a few hours, he found a post on Instagram, a disappearing story, with school reunion written on it. He took a screenshot and examined the people in the photo until he saw me. Honestly, I felt disgusted. Even if he's that jealous, to go to those lengths, it's just too much. Since then, Tim's behavior has become even more controlling. He calls me every day on his lunch break, and if I don't answer, he floods my phone with messages and scolds me. I have to let him know exactly when I leave the house. If I leave without telling him, even if it's just to go to the store, he gets angry. This is too much to handle, and I start thinking about divorce. But being a housewife makes it difficult. If I get divorced, I'm not sure how I would support myself, especially since Tim won't let me go out to look for a job. Plus, he makes a good living, and I enjoy a comfortable life because of him. That's another reason I'm hesitant to divorce him. Then, one day, I get a call from my mom. My brother Jordan has been in a car accident. Panicked, I rush to the hospital. Is he okay? Is he awake? I rush to his room and see him sitting up in bed. Hey, Andrea, you're here, Jordan says, looking surprisingly fine. What happened? I heard you were in an accident. Yeah, I was, but I'm okay, he laughs. Are you sure? You scared me half to death, I say, relieved. Jordan explains that another car had swerved into his lane, forcing him to slam into a guardrail. He hurt his hip but luckily had insurance for the car damage. Was it really that bad? I ask. Yeah, but I'll be fine. I'm stuck here for a month though, Jordan says cheerfully, trying to make light of it, even though he's lucky to be alive. I'm just so happy you're okay. I tell him, feeling a huge weight lift off my shoulders. I head back home later, still thinking about what happened. But I don't realize yet that I've made a huge mistake. When I get home, Tim's standing there with his arms crossed, just like before. I told you not to leave the house without telling me first, he says, glaring at me. I'm sorry, but it was an emergency. Jordan had an accident and was taken to the hospital. I don't care. You broke your promise and left without telling me, he says, his voice cold. That's when something inside me breaks. What do you mean you don't care? I can't take this anymore. Your brother almost died today. What are you talking about? Stop being so possessive. You're being selfish. I can't stand this anymore. I want a divorce. I snap and demand a divorce, and suddenly Tim panics. Divorce? Why now? This isn't sudden. I can't live like this anymore. I can't be with you, I say, my voice shaking. Tim starts crying, his tears flowing as he pleads with me. I'm sorry. I won't be so possessive anymore. Please forgive me. Don't divorce me. But I know you won't change. Not like this. I ignore him, pack my things, and head to my parents' house, ready to leave it all behind. Later, I send Tim the divorce papers, but he refuses to sign them. Well, I didn't expect him to, but I have a plan. I decide to go to Tim's office and ask for a divorce there. It seems he's known as a strict boss, respected by his colleagues, even the women. I'm about to show them who he really is. When I arrive, Tim quickly approaches me. Thanks for coming, but maybe we should talk somewhere else, he says, trying to pull me aside. I ignore him and walk straight into his office. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry to interrupt, but could I have a moment of your time? I've asked him for a divorce, but he refuses to accept it. Everyone is staring at me now. Tim hurries in, trying to stop me, but I press play on a recording of him crying and begging me not to leave. His colleagues start to gather around, intrigued. I go on to explain how Tim found out about me attending the class reunion, showing them the lengths he went to track me down. Everyone's reaction is a mix of shock and disgust. The female workers look at him like he's garbage. They all turn coldly toward Tim. Stop it. Why are you doing this? He pleads. It's because you won't accept the divorce. I shout. I'm not going to keep reporting to you about when I leave or come home, even if it's just to the supermarket. Please don't tell them that, Tim begs. I can see it now. Tim's reputation is completely ruined. His colleagues look at him in disbelief. Finally, in a last-ditch effort to avoid further humiliation, Tim sighs, defeated, and signs the divorce papers. I'm free from him at last. I leave the office, feeling lighter than I have in years. Afterward, no one takes Tim seriously anymore. They laugh at him behind his back. It turns out he had been bragging about how head over heels I was for him. But now everyone knows he was lying. He's completely ignored, and his position at work becomes very difficult. Well, he brought it on himself. As for me, I moved back to my hometown and start a new life. A high school classmate introduced me to a great job, and later I met an amazing man at the office. We got married and had children, building a happy family together. My new husband is kind and not possessive like Tim, and I feel so much freedom in my life. I'm truly happy now. I look forward to continuing this wonderful life with my family, watching my kids grow up. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one.